take a deep breath. We'll repeat our treatment for freedom together aloud. I speak my word for myself, my center, and all its members and friends. I know love as the only reality. I am created out of love. Love is what I am. I know this love as absolute freedom in every area of my life, the life of my center, and all who call it home. I know our center's mortgages are paid in full, and I claim for all of us financial freedom with all debts paid and cleared. I release any sense of struggle or wrongdoing. I live in an abundant universe where there is more than enough for all. We experience freedom in every moment by always having more than enough money, vibrant health, and loving relationships. We are who we have come here to be. With hearts open wide, we see the world through the eyes of love. We are blessed, we are rich, and we are free, and so it is. On our 5 points of power, I always pay attention. I always tell the truth and tell it quickly. I always ask for what I want when I want it. I always take total responsibility for my experience. I always keep my agreements. And so it is.
Thank you, Barbara. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Good to be home. Thank you, thank you. I was away last weekend. I spent the week with my colleagues on the Center for Spiritual Living Leadership Council and with the members of the board of the Science of Mind Foundation. All wonderful people. I like you better. And we had very productive meetings, and I have 18 months left. Yay! Okay, and counting, really. So we'll just keep that ball rolling and know that everything is in perfect order. Our leadership council did an exercise. We like to do things just to kind of explore who we are. One of our members came up with the idea of us doing the Strength Finders. Anybody ever heard of this? It's put out by Gallup, and it's about telling you what you're really good at. I like things like that. I like to know what I'm really good at. So I did the instrument online, and they told me that my 5 highest and greatest strengths are that I'm strategic, that I'm a relator, that I'm an activator, that I'm a maximizer, and that I'm futuristic. Sounds good, right? The thing is, they all sound good because they're strengths. So we explored that, and what I was thinking about, what I wanted to share with you, what came to mind was this idea of being futuristic. And I do. If I'm going to play, I'm going to play in the future in my head. What could be? Focus on things that I can work toward. That's always been my natural way of being, so I wasn't at all surprised about that being on the list. And not everybody does that. Obviously, we all know that the place where you can get things done is in the present moment, now. But there are those of us that get caught up in things of the past and then worry about them happening in the future and those kinds of things. But I think I'm pretty healthy around my futuristic nature. And so I wanted to explore that with you today about how things are working out in our world. And one thing I absolutely believe is that everything is working out. Everything's working out. It doesn't always look like that because we turn on the TV and the news and media tell us how terrible things are in the world and how much danger we're in and how things are falling apart and how we're not safe. And they sell a lot of advertising doing that. But frankly, I don't think that's a very effective way to be in the world. I think our job is to know without question that everything is working out. Someone who has been an excellent example and model in my life of that is in the room today, and I'm really happy about this. And he doesn't know I'm about to do this. Brian Byron is one of the most optimistic, clear, futuristic thinkers I've ever met. enormously successful. Do you know he's one of the top public speakers in America? That he's actually ranked? I looked him up. And I noticed that he was 60-something. But he pointed out to me that on that list of the 100 top speakers in America, that about 10 of them were dead. So that moved him up into the 50s. That's the way to look at life. Speaking of that, the one thing I want you to know that I'm aware of in my life, being a futurist as I am, is that you're all going to die. But not today! So there's more to do! So we're going to do it together. So what I want to do, spend my time with you doing today, is looking at how we can all count on the future being better than the past. About how life really is working out. And it's our job to know that, no matter what they say on the news, no matter what is happening in the facts of our lives, that life is working out, that we are that divine presence. We are creating our experience. And when we don't, then we get into those upsetting situations and scenarios that continue to demonstrate to us that life isn't working out. And that's all made up. By who? By us. When we worry, when we're afraid, when we doubt, when we watch the news, we get caught in this, oh man, maybe life really is falling apart. It is not. It's getting better all the time. Yay. So I have brought proof today. Yay. From people that know there are actually examples of how things are getting better and what we can look forward to having in our lives in the future. And I'm going to be reading some of these, but they're worth hearing. So go with me on this. Soon, every one of us will be fluent in every language on the planet.
Wow. Oh, yes.
Let me tell you how this works. DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency of the United States, and Google, equally massive, are perfecting instant translation so that when you speak on your cell phone, you are instantly translated from English to any language you choose as you're speaking to someone.
Cool.
Isn't that incredible?
Yes.
So we can speak to anybody on the planet, including Swahili. I mean, it's that extensive.
Yeah.
That's going to change how we communicate with the world. And that thrills me because I have so many colleagues down in South America and in Russia that I can't talk to. And I want to. And this is going to change that, and I'm very excited about it. Next, climate-controlled jackets will soon protect us from extreme heat and cold. Lightweight, all-weather clothing that heats up and cools down. It sends an electrical current across the junction of two different metals embedded in the clothing. So you can wear light clothes and be incredibly warm and comfy. Or if it's really hot outside, you can wear the same jacket and be nice and cool in it. Isn't that extraordinary? Yes. So our environment's going to be a whole lot friendlier to us as we are able to do that. Here's a really bizarre one. Digital ants will protect the U.S. power grid from cyber attacks. Programmed to wander networks in search of threats, these high-tech sleuths in their software developed by Wake Forest University are designed to detect problems as they wander the power grid. If multiple ants rush to a certain location to do their analysis, operators will easily be able to see there could be a big problem, and they will get there before it all falls apart. Isn't that lovely?
Sweet.
Anyone heard of 3D printers?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what they're going to be able to do?
Everything.
Blow your mind. Right now, dentists are already using them to create custom fit appliances for your mouth, but that's just the beginning of what they can do. 3D printers will soon cost the same as an HD TV.
Oh,
and
really?
one of them will be able to downstore useful things like made out of rubber, plastic, titanium, and all other kinds of materials. So just imagine that you could print out, you could order a toy online and it will just create the toy right in your presence. A wristwatch, a catalytic converter for your car, it will make it, and then you can have it installed. And get this, in time, we'll even be able to download prescription drugs this way.
Wow.
This is my absolute favorite on my list. In 5 years, passwords will be obsolete. I actually tried to turn on the PowerPoint machine back there, the computer. I had to go home and call the barber through the shower. What's the password for the PowerPoint machine this morning? I am so looking forward to this. Apple and Google are designing face recognition software for cell phones. Others are looking at retinal scans, voice prints, and heartbeats to turn on your equipment. Isn't that lovely?
Yes.
I'm just getting started. Our clothes will soon be able to clean themselves. Husbands are going, good for you, darling. Engineers in China have developed a titanium dioxide coating that helps cotton shed stains and eliminate odor-producing bacteria. To revive your favorite shirt after a night out, all you'll have to do is go out into the sun. Isn't that lovely? Everybody know what drones are?
Yeah.
Drones are already, and this will become standard, being employed to protect endangered species, guarding animals at risk in nature from poachers, and has been done by foot patrols, which is very ineffective, dangerous, and expensive. This summer, rangers in Asia will begin using hand-launched drones armed with cameras and GPS to provide aerial surveillance of threatened Indian rhinos. Google's working on it. By 2020, all 130 million books on this planet will be digitized. That means you'll need 124 3-terabyte drives to carry a library of everything that has ever been written. Wow. It still won't fit in your backpack, but it would fit. It would be small enough to schlep around in a hockey bag. Or you could just ask Google. Supercomputer. Remember the big supercomputers? They used to have, they take up floors of buildings. Soon they will be the size of a sugar cube. IBM researchers believe they can stack and link tomorrow's chips like droplets of nanoparticles infused liquid that will eliminate wires and draw away heat. Totally new technology. This one's amazing. Vertical farms will be feeding our cities. Farmscapers, as they call them, will grow pesticide-free crops in controlled environments in urban buildings year-round to feed the 9 billion people that will live on the planet by 2050. Yeah. Vegetarians and carnivores, actually I'm a pescatarian now, will dine together, but not on tofu, but nutritious, low-cost substitutes that look and taste like the real thing. Twitter founder Biz Stone has already invested in Beyond Meat, which makes plant-based chicken strips so convincing that it almost fooled a New York Times food editor. And beyond that, there's a tech company called ProNutra that has discovered an industrious single-cell organism that converts sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water into high-protein, low-cost nutrients. Instead of a couple thousand pounds of crops per acre per year, we're looking at over 100,000 pounds per acre, meaning that our plant protein needs could be produced in an area half the size of Connecticut for the world.
Yay!
Looking good? More? Transportation. This is where stuff's going. Let's look at your car first. Your car in the future will be able to communicate with traffic lights to improve the flow of traffic. Your car will be able to interact with other vehicles to prevent accidents. Some of that's already going on. Your car will be able to find the gas station with the best price, and your car will pay for the gas. There you go. Oh, you're going to get the bill, but it's at least going to do the credit card transaction. Your car will notify you when someone has dented your car, and it will supply footage of the incident.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Car tires will be made out of a bacteria process. Isoprene, which is a key ingredient in tires, is a natural plant-based product that we cannot get plants to produce quickly enough for all the tires we create. So this biotech company, Genencore, has engineered an E. coli microbe that produces isoprene as a byproduct of metabolic process of changing plant sugars. Goodyear is partnering with them, and they're already testing prototypes of what's called a bioisoprene tire. Yes, endless supply. Software will predict traffic jams using archive data, roadside sensors, and GPS. IBM has come up with a program that anticipates bumper-to-bumper congestion a full hour before it begins.
Cool.
Highways will handle 3 times as many cars. Do you know average use of cars during the day across the country? Use of highways, it only has 5% usage at any one time. You think about cars being backed up for miles, but at any one time, there's only about 5% of that being used. So there are ways to calculate a better use of that space to where we can get 3 times as many with onboard computers that will improve driving conditions and vastly improve our fuel efficiency. That's coming. Listen to this one. Bridges will repair themselves.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah. Invented by the University of Michigan, engineer Victor Lee has a new composite that is laced with microfibers that bend without breaking, so that hairline fractures mend themselves within days when calcium ions in the mix react to rainwater and carbon dioxide in the air to create a calcium carbonate patch. I know, that's wonderful. Battery life of electric cars will soon be up to 1,350 miles. And when that happens and we have enough electric cars on the road, we'll have a what's it called, a fast charging station on interstates about 60 miles apart. Isn't that amazing? Supersonic jets will be back. Remember how they stopped that? It's coming back, but this is better. They have a new pulse detonation engine that actually uses a fraction of the current jet fuels, and we'll go back to having 2-hour trips from Atlanta to LA. Works for me. I have more. Let's talk about your home in the future. Your refrigerator will place your grocery order. Your carpet will be able to detect intruders and will be there with help if you fall. Lawn sensors will tell you which part of your lawn needs fertilizer. Usually that just takes looking at the yellow. This is a little more accurate. Your electric meter will monitor local power consumption and help you make good use of off-peak times. And your thermostat will learn your preferences and adjust the climate of each room as soon as you enter.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? The outside of your house will clean itself. And at the same time, it will clean the air. This is how that works. When sunlight strikes the aluminum skin of your house, a titanium dioxide coating will release free radicals which break down the grime and converts toxic nitrogen oxide molecules in the air into a harmless nitrate. Everything washes away with the rain. I know. Let's talk about healthcare. Stomach chips will be able to monitor your diet and help you lose weight by maintain optimum weight. They'll have a chip in your stomach. They'll tell you what you need to do.
No, thank you.
Interesting idea. Spinal cord implants will reverse paralysis. Brain chips will let you absorb data while you sleep. Within 30 years, humans will have implanted Bluetooth technology. Hello? Checkups will be conducted by your cell phone. Scientists are perfecting apps that will measure your heart and respiration rates, perform blood and saliva tests, even evaluate your cough. Healthcare professionals will be alerted if any problem is identified. You don't get to say, no, I'm all right. That's not what the app says. Drugs will be tested on organ chips that mimic the human body, meaning that, let me read this thing, research institute students are developing silicon chips that house live kidney and lung cells. Simulating blood and oxygen flow allows them to mirror the reactions of real organs, reducing the need for animal testing and speeding up drug development. We'll have vaccines that will stop drug and alcohol addiction. Listen to this. The human immune system is supremely adept at detecting and neutralizing foreign substances. That's the idea behind addiction vaccines. Persuade the body to produce antibodies that shut down drug molecules before they get to the brain. The concept has already been proven in mice, and human trials are underway. If you think about all the people that suffer from addiction, that will be able to have a vaccine that will stop that. That'll change the world. Tiny doses of nanoparticles will significantly reduce pain and side effects of chemotherapy. Many nurses will be robots.
We are already.
No. We got some great nurses in the room here. By 2045, when seniors, that's 60 plus years, outnumber the planet's youth, 15 and under, for the first time in history, hospitals will use robots to solve chronic staffing issues. Expect nurse bots to lift patients, distribute meals, and become mechanical scrub nurses that respond to hand gestures in surgery. All kinds of possibilities. Before a baby is born, his or her genome will be sequenced, meaning that researchers at the University of Washington recently reconstructed the genome of a fetus using saliva from the father and a blood sample from the mother, which yielded free-floating DNA from the child. Blood from the umbilical cord later confirmed that the sequencing was 98% accurate. This product or procedure will allow us to do non-invasive prenatal testing and provide much better medical support to people before they're even born. Contact lenses will allow us to achieve superhuman eyesight. With soft lenses that contain wireless powered LEDs, circuits, and antennas that enable zooming, night vision, and visible data feeds. Wow. That's fascinating if you think about it. There are those among us right now that will celebrate their 150th birthday. When you look at all the advances in healthcare, technology, medicine, genome science, and antibiotic research, it won't take long. Currently, there are more than 300,000 centenarians on the planet, with one hearty soul having already reached the age of 122. It's not going to take long until people live to be 150. We have a lot to look forward to as a species. We're doing good things at being on this planet. Are there people that are doing things that we don't appreciate? You bet. But we're learning how to live differently. And that will become the compelling direction for our species. To live better lives, fuller lives, richer lives. That's where we're going. The thing is that we have to know that about ourselves and one another. We have to live from that place. We don't have the luxury of accommodating the thoughts of fear and confusion and failure. That's not who we are. That's not our job, especially being in this faith community. It is our job to know the truth of who we are and to live from that truth. If you're struggling with that, we have some amazing people called practitioners who can know the truth with you, even if they have to for a while for you, because they are not caught up in your drama. They can know the truth, and you can know the truth as well. The truth is that we are living extraordinary lives. We are. We are rich beyond our wildest understanding. We are prosperous in so many ways in our lives. Life is rich and full because of us. We have to act like it with everything that we do every single day. I've given you my best examples of how we are evolving as a species. It's your job now to remember that, even when the facts show you different, because the facts will change. But the truth is that we are evolving. We are getting better. Years ago, from a colleague, I think I mentioned this, there was this one that said that in the midst of some kind of confusion on the committee we were on, he said, you know what? That may be so, but God is still all there is.
Yes.
And everyone that was sitting around that circle went, oh yeah. So I want you to use that idea in your life. And when it looks like, I don't know how to do this, this is hard, this is wrong, this is bad, when your mind wants to take you there, stop and say, wait a minute, God is still all there is. Would you say that with me? God is still all there is. That means we're okay. That means we're going to get through it, and whatever it is, everything's working out. It's working out. We have to believe that, because we can create a track that doesn't look that way, but that would be a lie. Let's not live the lie. Let's live the truth. Everything is working out because God is all there is. That's the truth. I love you very much. Thank you very much for your